Okay, so for this week, we are finishing our Unit 5. Your Unit 5 exam is scheduled for Wednesday. We will start Unit 6 on limits on Friday. So this actually, 10.4 is the last section of our Unit 5, which is lines and planes in space. So the first thing we're going to learn how to do is find the line that goes through a particular point and is parallel to a vector. So what you have to remember about a vector is it gives us our direction. And our direction is similar to our slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by writing parametric equations. So if you remember parametric equations, we have an x equals, a y equals, and we'll have a z equals. So we're going to use the 6 as our slope. So we're going to say 6 times t and then plus our point, so plus 4. You're going to do the same thing for y and z. So I'd have negative 6t minus 1 and negative 8t plus 4. So these are our parametric equations. Now we're going to do our symmetric equations. What we're going to have to do for that is we're going to solve each one of these equations for t. So we have t equals x minus 4 over 6. T equals y plus 1 over negative 6. And t equals z minus 4 over negative 8. So our symmetric equation is actually setting these all equal to each other. So x minus 4 over 6 equals y plus 1 over negative 6 equals z minus 4 over negative 8. And again, I call these symmetric equations. The next example that we are going to do is if they give you 2 points. And really we're going to do the same process, but our first thing that we have to do is we have to find our vector. So when they give us 2 points, we have to subtract to find our vector. So we're going to do 5 minus 1, which gives us a 4. 9 minus a negative 1 would give us a 10. 0 minus 14 is a negative 14. Now the process is exactly the same. We're going to find our parametrics. So we'd have x equals 4t. Pick a point. We're going to use the first one, plus 5. Y equals 10t plus 9. And z equals a negative 14t. To find our symmetric equations, again, the process is still the same. We're going to solve for t. So we would have t equals x minus 5 over 4. T equals y minus 9 over 10. And t equals z over a negative 14. So our symmetric equations, we're just going to set those equal to each other. We'd have x minus 5 over 4 equals y minus 9 over 10 equals z over a negative 14. Our last thing that we are going to do is find the equation of a plane that passes through 3 points. So to find that, the first thing we have to do is find these vectors u and v. So we're going to use the first 2 points to find u and the second 2 points to find what I'm going to call vector v. So our vector u, again, we're subtracting. So we're going to have 3, negative 1, and then we'll have 2. Our vector v, again, we're using the last 2 points. We would have negative 3, negative 4, and 0. The second step then is to find the cross product of those 2 vectors, which this is going back to our last lesson. So to do that, to find u cross v, we are doing the determinant. Remember, we do I, j, k. Then we write the vectors underneath. 3, negative 1, 2, and then negative 3, negative 4, 0. When we find the determinant, we would be taking I times negative 1 times 0 minus 2 times negative 4. And then remember, the next one switches signs, so minus j. Again, find the determinant of the 2 by 2 created by the bottom of the first 2, or the first column, and the bottom 2 of the third column. So we'd have 3 times 0 minus negative 3 times 2. And the last one would be plus k. And then we would have 3 times a negative 4, which I'm just going to write negative 12, minus -3 times a -1, which is a +3. To simplify this, then we would get 8i minus 6j minus 15k. So our vector would be 8, -6, and -15. So to write the equation of the plane, we're going to take our vector and we're going to take one of our original points, and we're going to use the very first point here that's given. So then we would do x minus 4. Then we would have minus 6, because that's our next point on our vector, times y plus 1. And then we would have minus 15 times z minus 1. And that is equal to 0. So then what we're going to do is you would have to simplify that. So we'd have 8x minus 32 minus 6y minus 6 minus 15z plus 15 equals 0. So to get our equation, we would have 8x minus 6y minus 15z. Combine here, that gives me a -38 plus 15, which is going to give me a -23 equals 0. And that would be our solution. If you have any questions, please make sure that you email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great week.